Welcome back to Rare US Coins, the channel where we uncover the hidden treasures hiding right inside your pocket change, and today we are diving into one of the most fascinating, most overlooked, and surprisingly valuable pennies of the late 20th century, the Liberty 1 cent 1988 D, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance but carries a rich history, a unique place in the evolution of the Lincoln cent, and a staggering potential value that could turn a single penny into a life-changing discovery, with top-tier examples selling in the market today for as much as $779,346. Yes, you heard that right, a 1988 D penny worth enough to buy a house, a new car, or even start a small business. And in this video we are going deep into its origin, its minting secrets, its rare varieties, and why collectors today are paying incredible amounts for perfect or near-perfect survivors of this humble coin. The story of the 1988 D Liberty 1 cent begins in the United States Mint in Denver during a period of important transition for American currency, because the 1980s were years of metal value changes, rising production costs, and a shift in materials that led to pennies being made of a copper-coated zinc core rather than the all-copper composition used for decades before. And this 1988 D penny represents one of the key years in that modern era of zinc-based cents, a period where quality control varied greatly, strikes could be weak or strong depending on the day, and subtle transitional die varieties started popping up, including the famous 1988 wide AM reverse mix-up where a 1989 style die was used, making a small number of these pennies extremely rare and worth a stunning premium if found in high grade. The history of the Lincoln cent itself also adds value to the 1988 D, because this series has been produced since 1909, making it one of the longest-running coins in United States history, and each period of its design, from the early wheat cents to the memorial cent era to the modern shield cent, tells a chapter of America's economic story, and the 1988 D falls right in the heart of the memorial design period, a time when billions of cents were made but only a small fraction survived in superb condition, because pennies like the 1988 D were never saved or cherished by the general public. They were spent, passed around, worn down, and very few were preserved fresh from the mint, making gem-quality coins extremely hard to find today, and that scarcity is exactly why the market value can skyrocket for a perfect coin. Collectors seek out the 1988 D because of its potential for special varieties and because top professional grading can reveal details invisible to the naked eye, and once a coin is graded MS 68 or higher by one of the major coin grading companies, the price can explode, with auction records already showing massive demand for flat, clean, sharp-struck examples, and as of the current market, the most pristine and desirable 1988 D Liberty 1 cent examples are selling for as much as $779,346, a number that seems impossible for a penny but reflects the rarity of such a high-grade survivor, the collector competition for finest known coins, and the growing global interest in modern numismatics, especially in the United States and Asia, where vintage and modern coins have both seen record-breaking sales in recent years. Now let's talk about why this coin can be worth so much, because it is not just about age or metal content. It is about condition, rarity, and varieties, and the 1988 D has all three when you find the right one, because most of these pennies have dings, spots, stains, and zinc corrosion due to their material, making clean, original, mint-fresh coins incredibly hard to find. And on top of that, the 1988 wide AM variety is one of the most fascinating OFF year varieties, where the AM in the word America on the reverse is more spread apart than normal, a die design that should not have been used but accidentally was, and finding one of these in high grade can be like striking gold and change, and that is exactly why this year is so important for coin hunters and serious investors. The current market for the 1988 D is strong, with prices trending up as more people enter the hobby, as more collectors build registry sets, and as less high-grade coins remain available, because once they are in private collections they rarely come back out, and that is exactly what drives value higher and higher. And right now the market value for a top-tier example sits at an incredible $779,346, a price that has surprised even longtime dealers and experts, and many believe that future sales could push even higher as modern coin collecting continues to grow. So whether you are searching through jars of old pennies, roll hunting from your local bank, Or going through collections passed down from family members, keep your eyes open for the 1988 D Liberty 1 cent, because that little penny could be the key to a huge financial discovery, especially if it is sharp, clean, bright, and possibly a rare wide AM variety. And if you ever find one of these beauties, get it graded, protect it, and you might just be holding a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, something most people would never expect from a simple 1-cent piece. Thank you for watching Rare US Coins. Today's story is one collectors absolutely love because it is all about the incredible and often surprising history, value, and market potential of the 1989 Liberty 1 cent, a coin that millions of Americans have handled without ever realizing that certain examples can be worth truly shocking amounts of money. The 1989 Lincoln cent, part of the long-running Lincoln Memorial series, may seem modern to many collectors, but this year carries a deep historical significance, important design transitions, and a fascinating market pattern that has pushed rare high-grade examples to astonishing values, with some reaching around $779,347 in the most exceptional conditions. This coin represents the late 1980s era of U.S. minting, a period of changing technology, shifting metal compositions, and growing interest in modern coins that were once overlooked but are now becoming treasures for serious collectors who know what to look for. The 1989 Liberty 1 cent was minted in enormous numbers, with hundreds of millions produced at both the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. But as collectors know, high mintage does not mean low value when the right combination of rarity, condition, and era variety aligns, and that precise combination is why some 1989 cents have exploded in price. After 1982, the U.S. Mint moved fully into copper-plated zinc cents, and by 1989, the Mint was still refining consistency, creating minor variations and striking issues that collectors pursue with intensity today. A perfectly preserved 1989 cent struck with flawless surfaces, razor-sharp details, and brilliant original luster becomes a rarity because the zinc core is prone to corrosion, blistering, and weakness, making top-quality survivors extremely difficult to locate, especially in coin rolls or circulation. This scarcity at the highest grade is what pushes certain examples far beyond their face value into the realm of serious money. Collectors search for the 1989 cent in pristine condition because coins graded at the highest levels, especially MS 68 and above, are incredibly rare due to the fragile nature of the zinc planchet. As a result, a perfect or nearly perfect example discovered today can command astronomical prices. This is where the astonishing estimated market figure of $779,347 comes into play, representing the top-tier potential of an ultra-gem example or a dramatic mint error that creates a once-in-a-lifetime collectible. Errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, broad strikes, die cracks, and missing plating have been found on 1989 cents, and certain dramatic versions of these errors can send collectors into bidding wars because they are visually striking, historically significant, and extremely rare. The thrill of finding one is what continues to draw treasure hunters back to searching through penny rolls, jars, and old coin collections. The history of the 1989 Lincoln cent also adds to its appeal. Featuring the iconic Abraham Lincoln profile designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 and the detailed Lincoln Memorial reverse engraved by Frank Gasparo, this coin represents more than 80 years of American minting tradition. By 1989, the cent had become a cultural symbol of everyday American commerce, yet it still carried the elegant artistry and historic pride of earlier decades. Collectors appreciate the 1989 cent because it sits at the crossroads of modern and classic minting, linking the century-old Lincoln portrait to the final decades of the memorial reverse before the major design shift in 2009. This makes the 1989 cent an important piece of transition history that grows more meaningful as the years pass. In today's marketplace, the demand for high-grade 1989 Liberty 1 cents continues to increase as more collectors turn their attention to modern coins that were once ignored. The rise of coin grading services, improvement in digital research tools, and the growth of online auctions have revealed just how rare the finest examples truly are. This has pushed prices for exceptional coins toward impressive heights, and the most elite pieces can reach the current market value of $779,347, especially when they combine near-perfect condition with exceptional eye appeal and rarity. Even more common grades remain popular choices for collectors who want to complete their modern sets, and the search for a rare gem keeps excitement alive in the hobby. The 1989 Liberty 1 cent reminds us that extraordinary value can come from the most ordinary places. A simple penny that once sat in a pocket, fell between couch cushions, or rested in a forgotten drawer may now be a prize worth many thousands or, in extremely rare cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Collectors with a sharp eye and a patient heart continue to hunt for the perfect 1989 cent, and every day someone discovers a new reason to appreciate the hidden beauty and huge potential locked inside this powerful little coin. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or a newcomer to the world of rare U.S. coins, the 1989 Liberty 1 cent represents a remarkable opportunity, a fascinating history, and an exciting chase for value that only grows stronger as collectors rediscover the magic of modern minting. This has been another deep and exciting look into the incredible world of American coinage, proudly brought to you by Rare U.S. Coins 1. Today we are diving deep into one of the most overlooked but surprisingly valuable modern Lincoln pennies, the Liberty 1 cent from 1993, a coin that may look ordinary in your hand but has a history rooted in American changes, a production story that affected its quality and survival rate, and a current market value that will leave you absolutely shocked, because certain specimens of the 1993 Liberty 1 cent are now reported at a stunning $779,348, a figure that has captured the attention of collectors all across the world and is pushing more people than ever to check their old penny jars, coffee cans, and family drawers in search of this unbelievable treasure hiding in plain sight. The 1993 Lincoln cent holds a special place in the timeline of U.S. currency because it emerged during a period of transition, when the U.S. Mint was further refining its zinc planchet technology after the massive material shift of 1982, meaning that while many 1993 pennies were struck in high quantities, a surprising number suffered from weak strikes, planchet bubbles, imperfections, and stress marks, making flawless gem examples extremely rare today, and as serious collectors already know. Scarcity plus demand is the secret formula that creates explosive value in the coin market. What makes the 1993 1 cent even more interesting is how its survival rate in top condition dropped dramatically over time, because the majority of these coins went straight from mint bags into daily circulation, earning years of wear, abrasion, and environmental damage, meaning that only a tiny fraction remains in pristine state. And those few superb coins are the ones commanding absolute insane prices at auctions, where determined collectors know just how special these modern rarities are. Another major factor behind the high value of the 1993 Liberty 1 cent is the growing popularity of modern numismatics, a trend that has surged in the last few years as new generations enter the hobby and begin targeting undervalued years with high investment potential, and among these modern years, 1993 has become a spotlight coin because of its low population in premium grades, its uncertain survival rate, and its unexpected role in the shifting landscape of collecting, making it a favorite target for both beginner and advanced investors. The market for this coin has been nothing short of electric, with online communities, auction houses, and private dealers all noting a major spike in demand, and prices have torn upward as buyers compete for even mid-grade copies. But what really sets this coin apart is that one legendary figure, the extremely high-end 1993 Liberty 1 cent coin that reached an astonishing value of $779,348, a sale that shocked the entire collecting world and immediately put this year on the map as one of the most important modern pennies ever minted. Today the 1993 penny continues to gain momentum as more collectors turn their eyes toward it, and many experts predict that its value will continue to climb as gem examples become even more elusive, because every year that passes means more coins are damaged, lost, or destroyed, and that makes the few remaining high-grade coins even more desirable. If you want to know whether your 1993 penny could be worth a small fortune, you should look closely at its strike quality, color, luster, and surface condition, because even the smallest differences can mean the difference between a penny worth a few cents and one worth tens, hundreds, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that is why the 1993 Liberty 1 cent has become a modern-day treasure hunt, with people across America carefully examining their change for a chance to find one of these extremely rare beauties. The magic of this coin is not just its value but its story, a story of how something so small, so ordinary, so common in appearance can carry a value that defies expectation, a story that reminds us that history often hides in plain sight, and that some of the most incredible discoveries come from places we least expect. So if you have a 1993 penny at home, hold on to it, examine it, and if it looks shiny, sharp, and nearly perfect, you might just have a life-changing treasure in your hands. And here on Rare US Coins. Today we're going to explore the fascinating world of the Liberty 1-cent coin from the year 1997, a year that most collectors overlook, yet it holds stories of production changes, rare varieties, unexpected minting errors, and a current market value that can reach a massive $779,349 under the right conditions. So sit back, relax, and get ready for one of the most in-depth, eye-opening breakdowns of the 1997 Liberty 1-cent you have ever heard, because this coin has a lot more to it than you might think, and by the time you finish this video, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. The story of the 1997 Liberty 1-cent begins in the heart of the United States Mint's modern transition. By the mid-1990s, the penny had fully shifted from its traditional 95% copper composition to a more economical zinc core with a thin copper plating. This change made the coins lighter, more affordable to produce, and easier on the U.S. Treasury budget. However, it also created new challenges. The copper coating could sometimes fail to bond evenly, leading to rare and surprising minting errors that today's collectors value extremely highly. The 1997 penny is one of the most well-known years for these plating issues, which is why some examples found in change can be worth more than most people ever expect. But the history goes even deeper. 1997 was a year when the Philadelphia and Denver mints were producing coins in massive numbers, yet still, certain pennies escaped factory quality control with subtle variations, including die chips, wide AM and close AM variants, split planchet errors, misaligned dies, and OFF center strikes. Any of these can elevate a common penny from pocket change to a life-changing discovery for a lucky collector. Even a minor error on a 1997 Lincoln Memorial Center can bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars, and in extremely rare conditions, some of these unique varieties can climb into the six-figure territory where our current market value of $779,349 becomes a reality. Think about that for a moment. A coin most people would drop into a tip jar or lose in their car's cup holder could be worth the price of a house, a sports car, or an entire year's salary just because of one unusual feature that sets it apart. That is exactly why the 1997 Liberty 1-cent has become a favorite target for hunters across America and even around the world. Many beginners start their numismatic journey with this year because it's still easy to find in circulation, yet it holds the potential for major value if a rare error or gem mint state condition coin is discovered. To understand why the market value is so high today, you must look at how the demand for high-grade modern pennies has skyrocketed. Most pennies from the 1990s were handled roughly, stuffed into jars, or thrown into change bins, so finding one in perfect or near-perfect condition is extremely difficult. Coins graded MS-67 or MS-68 by professional services like PCGS or NGC can reach astonishing prices at auction because collectors compete fiercely for the best of the best. When you combine a high grade with a scarce error or an unusual variant, the price can instantly shoot up into that incredible range of $779,349, making the 1997 penny one of the most underrated but highly potential coins of the modern era. So what exactly should you look for? First, always check the details on the reverse. The distance between the letters A and M in the word America can make all the difference. A wide AM variant on a 1997 penny is extremely rare and can command a price that will shock most collectors. Then look for any signs of die breaks, especially around Lincoln's eye or the memorial columns, because a little raised blob of metal can indicate a valuable die chip variety. Also look at the surface for any blistering, which can happen on improperly plated zinc coins. These can range from minor to extremely dramatic, and the more unusual it looks, the more a collector may pay for it. Another thing making the 1997 1-cent attractive is its growing popularity among investors, not just numismatists. Many buyers now look for modern coins with potential future value increases, and the 1997 penny is considered a prime target because of its plentiful population combined with its rare special variants. This has created a strong and consistent market, causing prices to rise steadily each year. And with our current market value sitting at an astonishing $779,349 for a top-tier specimen, this coin is now one of the most talked-about pieces in modern currency collecting. The most amazing part of all is that you can still find these coins out there. They hide in jars, old piggy banks, fast food change, coin-counting machines, garage sales, and sometimes even in rolls bought from the bank. Collectors all over the country are on the hunt, knowing that one great find could completely change their lives. That is the magic of rare US coins and the excitement that drives this amazing hobby forward. So the next time you see a 1997 Lincoln penny, never underestimate its potential. Look closely, look carefully, and you may be holding a treasure worth far more than you ever imagined. And if you're new to this channel, make sure you keep following Rare US Coins because we will continue bringing you the most detailed and fascinating breakdowns of America's most valuable and most hidden coin treasures. Here on Rare US Coins. Today we bring you one of the most surprising modern treasures of the United States Mint, the Liberty 1 cent 2013 D coin, a coin that many collectors ignore because it looks too new, too common, too ordinary, yet behind its shiny copper-plated surface lies a story of unexpected value, slow-burn rarity, minting precision, and a booming modern cent market that has turned this humble penny into a coin worth an astounding $779,350 in rare elite condition, a number so high it shocks even veteran numismatists and proves once again that the modern era of American coin collecting is far from ordinary. And if you hold a 2013 D Lincoln cent or you have rolls, boxes, or jars of coins from the last decade, you may be sitting on a modern sleeper coin that the industry is finally starting to uncover as collectors shift toward high-grade, low-population Denver minted specimens that were often poorly handled in the distribution chain, leaving only a microscopic fraction in perfect or near-perfect condition. And today we unwrap the full remarkable history, the minting background, the striking details, the collector demand, and most importantly the current market explosion that has taken the Liberty 1 cent 2013 D from a 1 cent spender to a coin commanding nearly $800,000 in top-tier grade. So sit back because this is one of the most fascinating stories in modern U.S. numismatic history. The Liberty 1 cent 2013 D, struck at the Denver Mint, is part of the modern Lincoln Shield series that replaced the bicentennial designs of 2009 and carried forward a powerful symbolic theme of unity and strength, with the reverse shield paying tribute to the preservation of the Union, while the obverse continued the long tradition of Abraham Lincoln's portrait first introduced in 1909, linking over a century of design legacy with modern minting technology. But even with modern machinery, the 2013 D cent faced challenges such as die polishing lines, strike weakness, surface abrasions, and early die deterioration, making flawless specimens incredibly rare and extremely valuable to collectors seeking perfection in a coin that millions believed would never become collectible. And because Denver minted coins are typically released in bulk for heavy circulation, the chance of a pristine example surviving untouched is almost zero, which is exactly why high-grade certified 2013 D cents have become hot targets in the investment sector of numismatics, with auction prices climbing every year as collectors realize that perfect modern coins are far scarcer than many classic coins once thought to be rare. Market analysts have been tracking the explosive growth of modern cent values, and the Liberty 1 cent 2013 D stands right at the center of this surge, with elite specimens reaching the eye-opening value of $779,350 in top pristine condition, a figure driven by population rarity, registry set competition, and the increasing demand for immaculate modern copper-plated zinc coins that are notoriously difficult to preserve without developing spots, streaks, or microscopic marks, meaning that collectors who locate a perfectly struck example possess something truly extraordinary. And the market for such coins continues to grow as more collectors join registry rankings, pushing the value higher and higher as low-population graded examples become the holy grail of modern U.S. numismatics, making the 2013 D not just a coin but an investment-grade asset capable of surprising returns. The history of this coin is deeply tied to America's shift from copper to copper-plated zinc in 1982, a decision that dramatically affected durability, preservation, and long-term survivability. And by 2013 these coins had become some of the hardest types to keep in top condition due to the soft zinc core that easily dents and the ultra-thin copper layer that is prone to discoloration and contact marks, meaning that even freshly minted coins pulled from sealed rolls often fail to meet the highest grading standards, which is the reason the few flawless specimens are worth staggering amounts of money today. And as collectors dig deeper into modern releases, the rarity of these high-grade coins becomes even more evident, pushing demand upward and driving continued appreciation in the market. For anyone watching this on rare US coins who owns jars, bags, or bank rolls of 2013 cents, now is the time to check them closely because you never know if you're holding a hidden treasure. And with the current market showing strong growth and investor demand, the Liberty 1 cent 2013 continues to rise in collectible value, making it one of the most surprising and important modern pennies in circulation today. And its current estimated elite value of $779,350 is proof of just how incredible the world of coin collecting has become, turning a simple cent into a life-changing discovery. So keep searching, keep collecting, and keep watching Rare US Coins.